Hey there, we're standing with Kelly Garrett talking about sustainability partnerships. This is where we think at Extreme Ag the future of production agriculture goes. Kelly, I met you 2.5 years ago. You love to tell the story that I stalked you, read about you in the Wall Street Journal around Christmas time, and I was reading about how you had partnered with corporates and they were giving you money to accentuate the practices you were doing on your farm here in Iowa that improved your soil and also reduced your environmental impact. And that's where we think environmental impact scores and these kinds of things are going. Extreme Ag, we think this is where it's going. So we've got a cool deal going now. We have a company called Truterra that we're working with, a division of Land O'Lakes, that helping us accomplish some of our sustainability goals and also get a little compensation along the way. So kind of just tell us a little bit about the history and then where you think this goes.
Yeah, did you ever think 2.5 years later we'd be standing, December 1st, 2020, Shopify bought my first carbon credits from in an offset market. Then December 23rd, I was in the business section of the Wall Street Journal. That's when you saw me. We had a conversation on the phone. I was on your podcast. I've lost track of how many interviews, magazine articles, podcasts, radio shows I've been in to this point. And now where we're at today, it's surreal for me and my family to the journey that we've been on. It's a tailor-made space for us because of how we farm and where we farm with the no-till. Now being involved with Truterra like we've been for the last 2 years, what a great spot to be because of the credibility and security the Land O'Lakes and Truterra name brings.
Well, I think that the person there's some skepticism about this, as you and I both know, out here in rural America, but also maybe even among the consumers. But there's a reality that we do know. The consumer wants to feel good about their purchase. They've started talking about environmentally conscious investing 10 years ago. The people at Wall Street were talking about that. And that's kind of where we are now. It's environmentally conscious consumption. I want to feel good about the food that I eat, the product that I put on my table for my family. And that's where this space comes together and where we can team up with a sustainability partnership saying, hey, we're doing the right thing out here. We're not the enemy. We're not the bad guy. Look at what we're doing. And that's kind of where you went with this and said, let me tell you about what we're doing. We had a field day 2 weeks ago where we talked about that. So kind of talk about the things you've done and why the consumer should feel good.
You'll hear a lot of farmers talk about there's such a disconnect that the American consumer doesn't know where their food comes from. Well, now the American consumer, all of a sudden, they would like to know where their food comes from. But we've got to show that we're doing a good job, and we've got to answer their questions. And Truterra is a great partner for us as farmers to create that conduit, to bring us. And the field day we had, what a great example of that. What a great response we had from people all over the world. France, Scotland, Hong Kong, New York City, San Diego. The outpouring of support we received that day was huge. A couple people told me that they were skeptical about coming, it might be a waste of time, and they were moved to be there. And if we tell our story from American agriculture, again, using Truterra as the conduit, we can make great strides.
We had food companies, we had, shoe companies, we had carpet companies here. And when you explained, hey, you might hear this in Portland, Oregon, but let us tell you, show you, get out here and show you what we're really doing. The reality is you've made some changes to your practices. It takes some adjusting. And so the idea is if a consumer packaged good company, if a carpet company, if a soda beverage company wants to get in this space and say, hey, consumers, we're doing a good thing, what they do is team up with folks like us. Yep. And then we change some practices. You, Chad, Matt, you change some of your practices, reduce your carbon footprint, use less nitrogen, do a better job by the environment, but also is a little bit of adjustment phase. Is that why we need them?
We need Truterra to connect us all. We need Truterra to educate the farmer. And we're part of that. Chad, Matt, the Temple, Kevin, we're part of that education because it's important for the farmers watching this video to understand we're not changing those practices to chase these sustainability dollars. We're changing these practices because there's agronomic benefits to it. And our high yield path and our sustainable path are converging. And Truterra, again, is a conduit to the consumer, and Truterra helps with the education. And that's why it's such a great partnership between Extreme Ag and Truterra.
There is, admittedly, there's some growing pains. You're going from the way we used to do it 10 years ago to the way you're doing it now. It wasn't all seamless, and so is that where maybe these companies that want to buy in can offset some of that?
Yes. So these soil health initiative dollars, these sustainable dollars, if you will, they can help with that learning curve, that growing pains. But again, agronomic reasons are the reason we're doing it, but it also falls into the sustainable space So why not capture those dollars to help with those growing pains?
Yeah, so you basically, there is a cost to transition into a more sustainable type of agricultural production. The benefit is there for the environment, and the benefit for a company that we team up with, and we hope there's more of them, say, yeah, I see return in this. I see return because it's good for the environment. I see return because it's good for my bottom line because my consumers want this, whether they be carpet consumers, soda pop, food, what have you, shoes. That's the idea.
Absolutely it is. And these people want to know that we're doing a good job. They want to understand. There is some skepticism. There is a lack of education. There is a disconnect. Truterra and Extreme Ag are bringing that together.
Yeah, we're doing a good job here. So we're talking about sustainability partnerships, and I really believe this is the future of production agriculture in North America because, you know what, there's more scrutiny. There is more of a consumer desire to see this. So stay tuned. This is what we're doing a lot of, big push here, but sustainability partnerships are going to be a big initiative here with Extreme Ag and probably in your farm too. Kelly Garrett, Damian Mason coming at you from Iowa.